The first question that I have for you is, were you drafted into the military or did you enlist?
Ended up enlisting. They couldn't draft me. I was 4F. So, which meant they didn't want me.
Why did you want to join?
I joined, I was on the street at 7. Basically, I had no parents. And I was curious about how other people lived in the world. And I wanted to see the similarities among human beings. And I wanted to get out of the neighborhood. I thought that there was something in the world bigger than the neighborhood. I wanted to improve myself.
Which war did you serve in, and then where exactly did you go?
I was at a security service base. They closed the installation, and some of us ended up in Southeast Asia. So they sent me to Manila, well, not Manila, Clark Air Force Base, to learn the finer arts of pulling a trigger. And this is stupid. My specialty is classified material. What do I need to know about pulling a trigger? And well, you have to qualify in order to go to Southeast Asia. Now, I wonder what would happen if I don't qualify. So a week later, I'm still screwing around there, and I think they had had enough of me. So we were shooting at the target. I still was missing it. So they took a pencil and just punched holes in the target. Told me, you passed, goodbye. Yeah. And from there, the plane landed in Saigon. And they opened the back of the 141. I don't know if they still playing with C-141s. They opened up the back of this plane. And when they opened, the heat just rushed in. The heat and humidity just, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I looked out, and it was like, I knew there wasn't a lake because we were on a runway, concrete. But the humidity was so dense, it was just shimmering, just like being at a lake.
Really?
And I was like, uh-oh, what have I got involved in? But I was thinking about last night when they sent me, and several others. They closed the base, but the Caucasians went to a safe place. The blacks and the Hispanics, they sent us to Southeast Asia. But I knew I was in the wrong thing, but they called me a warm body. And I'll make sure I take care of this warm body since they don't call me by my name. And we stayed at Tan Son Nhut for between 4 to 6 hours, somewhere around in there, because they were drawing down. But they were still sending people, but they were, quote, drawing down for Nixon's peace with honor. So they didn't need some of us, so they just sent us off to Thailand. And I thought, well, it's not Vietnam. So by the time we landed in Thailand, I realized, I looked, and what the hell is this? B-52s, these huge bombers. I was on a bomber base. And uh-oh. Oh my God, what is this? And that's when I found out the Army had a Navy, because there was a port that was controlled by the Army, and they were bringing stuff in on ships. I didn't even know. So it was an educational experience, except I didn't like how they were doing their business. And they were spraying Agent Orange, and we just didn't know what it was. And I'm 68 now, and I don't have a hair on my body. But in the summer, if I push certain places, pus will start oozing out of my skin.
Are you serious? And that's
Yeah.
just the long-term effects of the Agent
That's
Orange?
my opinion. But of course, no one wants to discuss that.
They came back from Vietnam?
I remember, I came out of Thailand, and I didn't wait for the Freedom Bird, because I had it down pat. My family was still in Japan. So I caught the same plane that we used to use for the courier run. And I felt like Nixon then. I'd be the only one on the plane, other than the people flying it. Other than people flying it, because very few knew. And I didn't want to stay in that place 1 minute longer. I wanted to feel, every day I was worried, since I knew about the sappers coming into Thailand trying to destroy something at that place. I was very careful about where I went, where I walked. We had snakes. I mean, it was cut out of the jungle. And you had to be very careful what you walked up on and what you did. And
Was it very hard to see? Was the jungle?
yeah, well, there was no.
Was the jungle very thick?
When it got dark, you couldn't see anything, and it was very scary to be out. When it was dark, they might have a light every other, who knows?
Few miles.
Yeah,
Or something.
yeah, and
Wow.
most of the light they had was in a bomb dome. Everybody else, it was basically dark, and you had to be careful where you were at. And snakes, various other things roaming around that place, and it was scary. And there was very few people you see out. But we'd have to go out and go to the latrine and shower, and after that, everybody would, and that was it. And that left a lot of stress on people. So as soon as I could figure out how to get the hell out of there, I got out.
How did it feel? I had to
felt-
feel like a, you know.
Well, I wanted to get to my wife and kid because they'd already damn near starved them to death because they didn't cut the allotment. And at that point, it left a bad taste in my mouth. I just wanted to do my time and with less grief as possible and get back to take care of my family, take care of my responsibilities. Because obviously I couldn't count on my fellow soldiers or military people to do such a thing, to do their job. And I remember when we left Yokota going to the States, I guess we were maybe 2 hours out, and the lady came on the intercom and she said, if you guys have any civilian clothes, put them on because there's people in this country mad at you. And of course, none of us had civilian clothes other than our wives or whomever was accompanying us that were left.
Right.
And we picked up along the way coming back to the States. And I thought, they're mad at us. I have every reason to be mad at them. We didn't start this nonsense. And for them to be mad at us, they should be mad at the politicians that started it. I have friends in the grave. They're mad. They're mad that they got killed on some BS. So for people in this country to be mad at us and they look down on us, we did what they didn't have the guts to go do. Or we did what we were too stupid to know any better to stay out of. A lot of people assume that we have it cushy when we're in the military, but they don't have no clue what we go through for this country.